We are live. Welcome to the FGTN show every Friday night at 10 p.m., except when we can't. Like this week, we are 10:35 p.m. Central on a Saturday night. Appreciate all you. We went live earlier this week out on the ice. We'll be going live out on the ice again later this week as well. The FGTN show probably won't be next Friday unless it's a live stream on the ice. We might move it up a day, but today we've got some pretty jam-packed topics here. I had to cut quite a few just because we've got a lot to talk about. We've got an ice house was left in Lake Superior in the Coast Guard's shipping range where they're actually breaking the ice. So we're going to talk a little bit about what happens in that scenario. What should you do? What should you not do? Major League Fishing now has a lockbox for forward-facing sonar if you're over the limit. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Kind of interesting. We got a Wisconsin man that turned a porta-potty into a custom ice house. We've got an idea around a ice fishing expo that I want all of your opinions on. Should we try to organize something like this next year? It's something I could maybe work to get pulled together with the support of some people. And then we've got some new products, at least new to what I found. So we've got a bucket light strip. There's a new ice house that I've never seen before. That is also a hunting blind. And one new thing from CES and one of the new ice suits that's now available. We've got deals from a few different places. We've got questions being answered from viewers as well. Remember, if you have a question that you would like answered as one of the questions on the stream. So each week we try to do maybe about 3 questions from viewers. There's a link down below in the description here, and it'll be in the comment section after as well as a pinned comment. You can go to at.fish/ask-a-question or go to alextim.com and you can click ask a question, or you can just email to question@fgtnshow.com and get a question in, and then we'll do 3 or so of them each week live here on the stream. So we'll be doing that. We got a lot here jam-packed into the episode. I see there's a bunch of people hopping on right now. Drop in the chat if you haven't already. Say hi. I want to know who's here so I can say hi back to you. Looks like we got Daniel Rodriguez. What's up? Popping in to see the latest deal in news. Let's go. We got Muddy Asphalt here. Interested in a core house for next year and want the 15 because it's lightweight and can be used sooner, but I also want a 19 because of the extra room. That is the primary dilemma. Man, like honestly, what I would say is depending on where you live, how frequently are you able to get that 19-foot house out? The 15-foot house, the nice benefit of that is that you're able to use the hybrid mode for the skid shack. If you think that a shower is important to you, having running water is important to you, hands down, go with the 19-foot. If you've got a bigger unit, you're going to be getting into the back of it, go with the 19-foot unit. Otherwise, if you can make the 15-foot unit work for ice fishing specifically, you're going to love that 15-foot unit. I've got the 19 this year. I had the 15 last year. I like them both. What's up, Blaine? How's it going, man? We've got MT Coiner, Mike Brown. We've got Alberto Farrow in the description. Oh, okay. Yep. Good evening from Red Lake, OTC Outdoor Adventures. Hope you're hitting the fish out there on the lake. Hopefully they're lighting up here with that little bit of snow that came through. Green Bay from Real Life. We got Sputtlebutt from Northern Ontario. We got Lewis, Gregory, and a bunch of others hopping on here. So let's go ahead and get into the topics. First, though, we may start having some of these episodes sponsored. And so we're going to always have a sponsored segment at the beginning of the show, as well as maybe later on in the show. Today, it's sponsored by all of the members of the channel. So we've got Wayne here in the chat right now. You see that little cool funky icon at the end of his name. You see Blaine here in the chat with that little icon. I think the color of their text is a different color. They've got some other member benefits too. So this channel is supported by members of the channel. You can join the membership. There's a link down below if you're interested. It's $1.99 a month. There's some other benefits coming. You get some cool icons and badges, some behind the scenes content, some giveaways and things like that. So thank you to all the members of the channel. They are what make these streams possible. All right, hopping into the content for tonight. We've got the Coast Guard pulls a stray ice shack from the shipping lane. So this was one of the primary topics that you saw probably in the thumbnail here. We'll go through a few different photos here, but what you're seeing here, this is a U.S. Coast Guard ship. This vessel is intended on breaking ice. Like that's what it does. It clears the ice from the Great Lakes, particularly Lake Superior in this scenario, where they go through the shipping lanes where shipping vessels need to be getting in and out of ports, like up in Duluth. And they will the boats are actually made with a hull to actually break the ice up. And so they go back and forth breaking the ice up. Well, in this scenario, we got somebody that left a portable ice fishing house, a pop-up hub. I can't tell what brand it is. That it's either Celsius. Is that Celsius? Is it Nordic Legend? I don't know what brand that is. It looks like Celsius maybe. Out in the shipping lane. So this thing's coming through, breaking the ice, and it comes up on this thing. And like that could have been really dangerous. Fortunately, there were no fishermen in the hub house, right? So fortunately, there was nobody at risk. But the Coast Guard did stop the ship. They unloaded a few rescue guys to get out and go check out to make sure if anybody was in here or not. They removed the ice fishing shack, put it on the boat. You can see them dragging it back to their boat there. It looks like they got a propane tank and a bucket. So there was some gear left in it as well. So they got some free gear. I don't know if anybody is going to claim that this was theirs. I probably wouldn't, because I'm sure there's a big fine or a fee for that as well. And you can see the 4 guys going out. They've got a pole. They've got some float stuff. Definitely not a situation you want to be in. So I've got a couple more pictures here. So this was a picture that I have on the thumbnail here. So you can see this guy's actually going through breaking the ice, and he stopped a little ways back. You can see out here the actual ice house. So they stayed far enough back as to not obviously make it sink. And then they unloaded from there to get over to it. Here is another little bit closer up version of it. You can see, if I zoom in here, they're all over there at this point. This green thing that you see here is a shipping lane buoy. So there's a green one and there's a red one as well, which I think is over here. In between those buoys, you are not allowed to go ice fishing and set up. That's a shipping lane. That's where vessels are going in and out. So you're not allowed to be in there. So lesson learned, if you're ever fishing Lake Superior, make sure if you're in the bays and the ports like this, you stay out of those shipping lanes. This could have been very catastrophic if they wouldn't have seen that little thing out there. But I'm glad they did, and nobody was in danger. So that's kind of good news there. But if you know who that was, let them know not to do that again. All right. Another one of the primary topics for tonight is MLF, Major League Fishing, has launched a Lockbox to enforce the 2025 sonar rules. So the new look of the tournament bass fishing is with this Lockbox. So Major League Fishing in their tournaments now has a rule. What does it say right here? It's 2. Okay, I'll just read this. Major League Fishing has introduced an inventive new Lockbox. That's what this orange thing is here. To enforce its 2025 rules regarding forward-facing and 360-degree sonar. It was announced after the 2024 season that all boats used for competition in 2025 across all MLF circuits will be limited to 2 forward-facing or 360-degree sonar transducers. So you've probably seen in these fishing tournaments, some of these pro anglers, they've got live scope off the transom of their boat, maybe even 2 of them pointed out at angles. They got one right by the captain's seat. They got one in the bow of the boat. They've got them all over the place. They've got one in perspective mode. So they've got 4, 5, 6 of these things. Sometimes they only have one, sometimes none. So In order to limit it, they're limiting it down to 2. What I actually like, so originally what I was thinking is they would require you to take all the extras off, which would be a hassle because outside of the tournament, right? Like pre-fishing, you can use more than 2 from my understanding. And of course, any other time they're not doing tournament fishing, they can use more than that. And so how much of a hassle would it be to have to take them off and put them on? Well, the nice thing with this is they don't actually have to take them off. So instead, what you're going to do is that when you're checking in, you need to let them know, I've got 4 on my boat. And then what they'll do is they have this lockbox that has essentially inside of it, it's just like a little plastic shroud, right? It's the orange cap comes off, and you can put, which you can see here, the transducer cable. So you would put both of them in there if you had your 2 extras, one of them if you have one. If you have more than that, I'm sure you can get more than one lockbox. You put them in there, the top slides on, and it locks it down, and there's a key. So after the tournament is over, anglers will return to the station for the device removal at the end of the competition day. There's a video here. I'll link this page. Everything that we talk about, as you know, I'll always link after. It'll be pinned in the comments as well as in the description, both here on YouTube and on Facebook. But if you want to see this, you can kind of check out this video. He's just walking through the process of taking this cap off, putting the transducer cables in, and then showing that it's locked. It does have a Velcro strap on the back in case you want to strap it to like your gimbal bracket or something like that. You can also do that. So interesting. What do you all think? I think it's a kind of creative solution. Precision Sonar has made this lockbox. It's a partnership between Major League Fishing and Precision Sonar. We'll see how it goes this year. But I actually kind of like the idea of if they're going to limit it, that they have the ability to do so without making you remove them from the boat. And I think that makes it auditable as well. So like if you have 4 on your boat, it's not up to, oh, I didn't have them plugged in and wasn't using them. If you have more than 2, if somebody were to come and inspect your boat, any more than 2 have to be locked up. And if they're not, you're technically in violation. So I think this is actually well thought out here. I'm not saying I agree with you have to limit it. I'm not saying I agree with any of it in terms of the rules, but this is a really good way to enforce those rules when it comes down to enforcement, right? Because there's two different situations here. One is what are the rules, and then the second is enforcing those rules. Whether you like the rules or not, you want them enforced, right? So that way it's a fair playing field for everybody out there. So I think it's kind of interesting. Let me know what you all think. Be interested to hear what you have to say about it. All right, here's another one. So we got this guy from Wisconsin that turns a porta potty into a custom crappie ice fishing shack, which if you know any of the guys down south, guys or gals down south, sometimes they call them crappies. So it's the crappie ice fishing shack. And it's kind of funny because it is a porta potty, right? So this guy evidently had a buddy that had one of these old porta potties sitting around and gave it to him. So he got it for free. And then he had kind of all the other stuff that you'll see. We'll go through some of the pictures here. He already had in his garage. So it basically cost him nothing to put this together, but he did kind of a pretty cool job with it. It's lightweight, right? Looks like he's got it on some skis here. So he's going to be able to pull it around with his 3-wheeler. This is like the ultralight setup. Pretty awesome. He's got some wood underneath it to keep it up. So it's kind of like on a Smitty sled, if you will, up off of the snow in the ice to make it really easy to move around. And then inside of it, he built like a bench. And then he's got 2 holes in the front. So he's got buckets underneath the bench here where you can sit. And then he's got 2 holes, and it looks like some homemade hole sleeves in the front too. Oh, that's what those buckets are, is they're the actual hole sleeves. So he's got wood hole covers. And then in front of that bench, you can drop those down because it's still on those skis. The Smitty sled's kind of raised off the ice. Drop down in the hole, and you've got a spot for 2 flashers up front, kind of built in, which I think that's probably what this box is here that comes out of the side. Is it's a nice little area that allows you to put your flashers in there so they're not in the way, because it's probably not super big in there, right? And then you've got your setup. And obviously he's caught a crappie out of the crappie shack. Some people just asking questions. Those things blow over all the time. The guy said that he cut 18 inches off of the bottom and the floor is all wood, so it's got a low center of gravity. He tried tipping it behind the wheeler and couldn't do it. Perfect setup. Best post I've seen. How much did it cost overall? And this is where he says basically nothing. He already had everything. So I love seeing these things. I think one thing you got to be careful of, though, is if you put this kind of out on the ice by a bunch of ice houses, how many people, because there are some lakes that actually put these out on the ice that are, because they don't want people to be, using the lake as a bathroom. So they'll put these out there. So he's got to be careful people aren't walking in thinking they're going to use it as actual porta potty. It'd be the only thing that would be interesting. He's got to get rid of this flag. I don't know why you got a Green Bay Packers flag on there. You got to throw a Vikings flag up there, right? Yeah. Kind of interesting. Yeah, I love it. I love seeing this stuff, right? We talked about the airplane a month ago, as well as late last year. The guys that bought an old airplane and made it an ice fishing house. We've seen the semi trucks that have been turned into ice. The kind of the cabs on them have been turned in. So it's kind of fun, cool stuff to see. All right. Next up, this is a glimpse into a new series that you're going to see here on the channel. I struggle to get out enough videos on the channel, and I know that, right? The editing takes a ton of time, and getting them posted and doing the in-depth reviews, it's a lot of work, as you know, and I'm not complaining, but I'm trying to find a solution that will allow me to get more of the content out that you all are looking for and asking for. And this is one way that we're going to do it. So you're still going to get the comparison videos, the in-depth reviews, right? Some fishing videos, live streams. This show is going to be happening every week. So you're still going to get all of that. But in addition to the content that we're already getting, we're going to start introducing a new segment on the channel. And thanks to all of you that voted in the poll for what we were going to call this. It's the Gear Worth Knowing segment. So it's under 2 minutes. These are going to be under 2 minute videos. So probably anywhere from a minute to 2 minutes, 90 seconds roughly about, but all of them will be under 2 minutes. That's kind of going to be the whole idea behind the series. In the thumbnails of all of the videos will look like this. So you're going to have this little logo in the bottom, under 2 minutes with the gear worth knowing. And then you're going to have a picture of a product. And then you're likely going to have me holding the product in the picture. So it's not just like some AI generated thing. There's at least some human element to it. You're going to have some text on the screen, either the name of the product, some other text or something like that on it. And then I'll have this blue faded to black. So it'll be recognizable. You'll start seeing it hitting the channel here. Hopefully this next week, you'll start seeing them. And the idea behind this is in these 2 minute videos or less, I'm going to give you the things that I think will actually be valuable and help you about the product. It's not going to be me just reading the specs out to you. While that may be somewhat helpful, what my goal here is to provide in 2 minutes or less, right? Not to waste your time and not to eat up a ton of time of my time filming stuff and editing things, because I want to get you the content faster. These are going to be things like, what do I think of this product in comparison to the others that are out there? Because, I'm unbiased. I don't care what brand you buy. I don't care what product you buy, because I don't work with any of these brands. I don't have any exclusivity to them. None of them pay me. So I'm going to tell you what I think in comparison to maybe some of the others that are out there. I'm going to tell you some of the things that I've learned by using it. Maybe like new products like this, I've only used a couple of times, but I'm going to tell you my first impressions about it, things that you need to know, or I wish I knew before I bought it, because it may have had me go a different route with it. So it's going to be that type of information, specific information that may be hard to find, such as how long does it actually run for, not based off of what just the box says, but reality. So it's going to be hopefully really valuable and helpful information. Look for these videos to be hitting the channel, hopefully starting this next week. And my goal is to get a couple out every week. And that will be in addition to the other content. These should be able to be a lot faster. There's going to be a lot less editing in them, but it should just be to the point, sweet, and hopefully help you out. And if you're interested in buying the product, I'll have a link down below the video to get you to it. And of course, you can ask questions on it too. And if there's a ton of questions about it, I can do a longer video as well. So new segment coming to the channel really, really soon. Hopefully you're all as excited about this as I am. I think it will help. The mission of the channel is to help people find and decide on their next fishing gear items to get the most out of their time on the water, whether it's on the ice or on the lake. All right. One other thing that I am interested in your perspective on. This is something that I saw. This is in, where is this? This is in Delaware, I think. Does it say? I think it's in Delaware. So there's this lure company called Big Mouth Lures, and they put on a fishing expo at their local Laurel is the name of the city at the fire hall. It's February 1st, 8 to 2. I'm not advertising for them. I know nothing about them or where this is, obviously, right? But this is what I think is interesting about this, and I'm interested to know. Of course, I know not everybody here is in Minnesota or around the area, but maybe we could do it around timing, around when people are coming to the area. So like we've got the St. Paul Ice Show here, and that brings in a lot of people. What if during the St. Paul Ice Show or after it or right before it or something like that, or maybe another time we did something similar? So what I think is interesting here is it's a buy, sell, swap, trade. Now, again, we would do this again focused on ice fishing, and maybe we do an open water one at a different point in the year as well. But we could find a location, we'd start here and maybe we do multiple locations. But the idea is that there's a small admission probably to cover some of the costs for renting out the space or something like that. But anybody, any of us, any of you that came, it would be like a 4, 5, 6 hour thing. Everybody could kind of hang out and, maybe they can check out things and, see what they like. But you can actually bring some of your unused gear with you and get a table and buy, sell, swap, and trade gear with other ice fishermen. Like, how cool would that be? Like, if you got a shelter you don't use anymore, some fishing rods that you bought and you just don't use anymore, some tip ups, some electronics. It just cut out the middleman, cut out anybody else, and like in person. If we get enough people there, it could be kind of cool, kind of like a mass garage sale, if you will, where everybody's bringing their stuff and it's not just one person's thing. We could get some food trucks coming in. I don't know. Let me know. What do you think? Would this be a pretty cool idea? Where would we want to do it? Would it be helpful to partner? I know one of the challenges here is, I'm sure, well, I know obviously just by where everybody is, we got people in Canada, we got people in other states. But if we were, think about like, if you were to have something like this in your area, would that be cool? Because maybe we could do something in multiple different states, right? And we could do like this state, this weekend, this state, another weekend. So that way, not everybody has to go to all of them, but people can at least have the organization of it and a facility to go to. And then maybe in each area, there's like a lead organizer or something that's responsible for helping make sure that it all comes together. But would this be helpful? Do you all have gear that you want to sell or swap or trade or buy maybe secondhand from somebody else that's gently used it? Let me know. Let me know. Is Joe's January sale a deal? I haven't looked at it. Talk to Joe's. Yeah, we could talk to Joe's. Got a couple other ideas too, but let me know. I thought that this was pretty cool. One thing that I thought was interesting is I kind of clicked through on this, and the way that they do it, which I think is kind of interesting. So they allow setup time about an hour and a half before it starts, which makes sense. Allow everybody that's going to be selling, swapping, or trading to bring their stuff in. And then if you bring in a lot of stuff, there'd be, even the day before, you can drop some stuff off or something like that. You would have a certain amount of space. So they're renting the space out, which I think is interesting. I don't know if I would be like, if I were to try to organize something like this with all of you, maybe you'd have to do that. But I think it would be cool to just say, it's free. Like bring your own table, you're reserving a spot, and maybe there's a fee to reserve it just to make sure you show up and you don't just say you're going to come and you don't. Maybe you reserve and then you just get your money back if you actually come or something like that. We could figure that out, but no guns or ammunition would be sold. I guess the benefit of the rentals is you actually get a table, I think, with it. Yeah. So there's payment information here and you got to register and there's a waiver and all that. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Would this be kind of cool? Maybe it's something we can look at doing in the future here and doing multiple locations kind of across North America. The kind of the ice belt, I think would be pretty cool, but including maybe do one in Canada or something. But I don't know. Let me know. And while you're typing, hopefully your response is there. I will take a drink of my energy drink. I'm drinking Celsius tonight. Can you see? The Arctic vibe is what we're going with. Yeah. All right. Next up, we're shifting over to products. So these are either new products or products that I've just never seen before. I'm sure this is just a simple little LED light strip, but how cool is this? I saw this like last week and I was like, this is interesting. It's from a company called Lakco. They've got a lot of different ice fishing accessories. It's the bucket light strip. And it is exactly what it sounds like. So you put it just below the rim of your bucket and you have inside of your bucket, you just have some sort of a 12-volt power source down in the bucket. And there you go. Now you got a little bucket light because, I mean, if you're hole hopping, you're really lightweight, like this is low tech, right? You're bringing a bucket with you. And if you're out before, sun up type of thing or after sundown, it's nice to have a little bit of light and it's not shining in your eyes. I don't know. Pretty cool. I'll link it down below if anybody's interested. This is from Shields. You can buy it there. I searched everywhere online. Nobody has it cheaper than Shields does. But I'm sure you can find and rig up your own on Amazon. Maybe I'll try to find a similar, like, I don't know. Does it come with a ring to fit around the, like, I don't know exactly what this looks like, but I'm sure there's some way to buy like, just like a 2-foot LED light strip. I don't even know if that's how long this is. A 2-foot LED strip or something like that off Amazon for like $10 and probably do that as well. But has anybody done this before? Have you tried it? Only thing would be if you're worried about light shining down through the ice, like if you don't have snow. If you have snow, it's probably not that big of a deal, but some people have a strong belief in light sensitivity to the fish. If you have light shining through, it could detract the fish. Some people think it attracts the fish. So depends on what you want to do there, but thought that was interesting. All right, next up, we've got the Stump 4 Ice Phantom. So this is from Banks Outdoors. I thought this was super interesting. For those specifically that hunt and ice fish, granted, this thing is not cheap. $4,000. I don't hunt at all. I've never been hunting. Maybe one day I will. But I don't know, like, when we talk about quality for a hunting blind, I don't know about price point for a hunting blind. Like, I don't know if this is like expensive for a hunting blind or if this is right in line with a hunting blind. If you're going to buy one of those anyways, why not get an ice house out of it? That's kind of where my head's at. But the idea here is that it's a hunting blind that's also an ice fishing shelter. So let's talk through this. So it's the Stump 4 Ice Phantom from Banks Outdoors. I'll link it down below. It is a fully composite structured unit. It's got, kind of like a circle design here. And I've seen a bunch of these, right? It's got a nice door on it, so you can kind of go in there. Inside of it, you've got your circular floor. Can I make this bigger? Here we go. Now we're talking. So you've got your circular floor design here. You've got 4 holes. You got a little spot here for a buddy heater. You've got a nice little shelf thing here. Some foam around the outside. Well, it looks like all around the whole thing. I don't know if it comes with that. It must. You've got your windows, and the windows are at the right height, obviously for hunting. So you can, throw your gun out and they open. But that's also great if you're looking for tip-ups and you want to see outside, right? So, like, all in all, this is actually a pretty good idea. You got a little vent down here. The floor is wood, but the rest of it is composite. So you're not going to get mice coming in. I think these are catch covers or something like that. So I thought that was pretty cool. Here's a look from the bottom, what it looks like. So it looks like a sheet of plywood, and then you've got your hole holes that go through there. And they've got a little video here. So I'll link it, but what do you think? I thought this was pretty interesting. It's UV stabilized polyethylene construction, so it will not freeze down. I know that's a little hard to read. Will never tear, rot, or be chewed up by mice. Of course, the floor may need to be replaced because that is wood, but that's the only thing that is wood. You have tinted windows on all sides that open and close. You've got you can mount rattle reels, lights, heaters, etc. to the rigid walls. It's permanent. You can leave it out overnight or portable. Quick setup when you're done fishing, just close the door and go. There's no pole stake zippers. Easily converts into deer hunting or turkey hunting blind. 4 ice fishing holes, hole covers, and skis. So you see here, right here. So it comes with these plastic skis on the bottom so that it's easy to just skid, and you have your little tow hitch here. So hook it up to an ATV, a snowmobile, a little machine, and pull it right on out. So I don't know. What do you all think? I think it's pretty cool. Let me know. I'll link it down below if you want to check it out. And if you're interested in that, you can check it out. I thought it was pretty cool. Anybody here hunt that has any experience with it? All right. Striker has launched. You saw me talk about this previously when it was a pre-order available. Now it's out. It's the limited edition Coors Light suit. Not my cup of tea, but I actually think it looks pretty sick. And so if you want anything from their Coors Light collection, you can. So they've got the Coors Light Striker Ice Jacket. They're sold out in mediums and 2XLs already. So they've got larges and extra larges is all they got. You can see kind of the way it looks here on the front, which is pretty cool. I just think it pops. Like, it looks good. You got the sleeve, you got the back, the big logo and branding. So obviously this is a collaboration. Look, even inside of the hood, you got the Blue Mountains. I don't know. I think it looks pretty sick. I would not buy this, but I think it looks pretty cool. They've got the bibs. The bibs got the Blue Mountains on the inside, a little bit of choose chill. I like that. A little bit of logo and branding there. The whole inside looks like it's the Blue Mountains with the light color, the logo on the back. There's the full suit look to it. What is this unit? Is this the... I wonder what suit it is. Is this like the Predator suit? Anybody know? 5,000, 5,000. Primaloft Black. I don't know. This kind of looks like the... Kind of looks like it might be the Predator suit, but not 100% sure. But the bibs are available in the medium, large, XL, and 2XL. They've got a palm hat, and they got a can koozie too if you are interested. So kind of cool. I hope that there are more collabs like this that happen in the future with all these different brands. I think that would be awesome. Like we saw Strike Master come out with the Light Flight. That was red, white, and blue. I thought that was pretty cool. Like, I think there's a lot that these brands can do without actually coming out with a new product, but having like limited editions, collab opportunities. I think there's a lot there. Doesn't always need to be probably with like an alcohol brand or something like that. But obviously they got money, so it probably made sense for Striker to do. Be interesting to see how more brands do this stuff in the future. All right. A new product that it's like brand new. And you may not originally think of this as an ice fishing product, but depending on where you ice fish, it really is. So if you've ever heard of like the Garmin InReach, those satellite communicator devices. So if you're going to go up into any area that's really remote where you don't have cell signal at all, and something were to happen, and you get in trouble, you want a way to reach out for help. Well, this is a pretty cool offering where it's called the HMD OffGrid. HMD, I found out, is a pretty big brand. Uh, I think it stands for Human Mobile Devices, I think is what it stands for. Something like that. But the off-grid is this little device here. So it is text messaging, location sharing, and SOS services via satellite connection powered by Skylo. So the way that it works is you can do two-way messaging using the off-grid app. So whether you have an Android phone or an iPhone, you can download the off-grid app, and then you will connect it, I think via Bluetooth, to this little puck. And this little puck goes up to satellites. And so it allows you to text message back and forth, use SOS features and functionality, as well as send GPS location for tracking. So you can do location sharing, as you can see here. People can follow your location in real time, and you can show like the tracking, who can see it, and whatnot. And it is satellite connectivity is what we're talking about here. So it's able to go up to the satellites even when you don't have cell service. And then the SOS button you can hold down even without your phone being connected to it, and receive help as well. It does have an audible alert, so you know that it's working. It has a 3-day battery life. It's IP68 weather sealing, and it does have a subscription plan. So the device itself is $199 one time. You buy it, so you own the device. And then you can either pay, there's an activation fee of either $10 or $20. Again, one-time fee. And then a subscription is for the Freedom Plan, which gets you 350 text messages over the course of a year, it looks like. It's $79.99, so not super expensive. And then if you want to do the unlimited live tracking, you can activate or deactivate at any time. That's $4.99 for whatever months you're going to be using it. Or you can go with their unlimited option, which gives you unlimited text and check-in messages. And that is $139.99 per year. Or you can pay it monthly at $14.99. And then you have to pay the $4.99 per month if you want unlimited live tracking as well. I think this is really cool. I actually don't go very many places where I don't have cell signal. So I'm not really too worried about it. But if I was to go to like the Boundary Waters or any of those areas more remote, more frequently, or in the future when I start doing more of that, I may look into getting something like this. I have a Garmin InReach right now, which is pretty cool, but I like the idea of just being able to use my cell phone, right? But still having the button to click SOS whenever I want to. It has a rechargeable battery in it, USB-C rechargeable. If you wanted to use it that way, you could just plug it into a power pack or something to recharge it. So kind of pretty cool. I'll link it down below if you're interested in that. All right, sale deals. What do we got to save you some money on some gear? So Thorne Brothers has, and this is available on their website, otherwise locally if you want to go to their store. I think these sale prices are also available in their store. They got some sales going right now. I'll link all this down below too, so you got the link. But they've got the Clam. This is the big Clam heater. The 16,000 BTU is already on sale for $109.99. Which is good because if you compare it to the Big Buddy heater, the Big Buddy heater is 18,000 BTU, and that is right around 110 to 130, depending on the price that you get it at. But this is typically the price that you can buy the Big Buddies at if you look for a deal. So it's good to see them kind of fall in line there. The Clam Auger Drill Plate Pro without the gearbox is $20 off, $79.99. I'm not going to read all of these to you, but you've got lock bases, you've got plastics in here, clam lock accessories. There's just a ton of clam stuff in here. So they're moving through it. I don't know why there's so much clam stuff on sale, but there is a lot of clam stuff on sale. Maybe it's the clam deal days and they're just trying to blow stuff out. Is it all clam gear? Did I miss that? Did I miss the note? Here's the new hub shelter. I got this guy, and I think I paid this price at an ice show. So this is a deal. $599 for the X600 Ice Ops. Pretty cool. Did I see a black Tika flash? Look at this thing. The Crappie Chronicles Custom. I've never seen this one before in my life. Holy smokes. That thing looks pretty sick. Ooh, the all silver too. Nice. Well, check it out if you want to. It kind of looks like it's all, oh, no, they've got other stuff in here too. So Eskimo's got some hub shelters on sale. Do they have any of the new ones on sale? The HDs? No, they've got that 650 plaid. 3 HD insulated, $299. If you're looking for a good one-man hub shelter, this is a heck of a shelter. I fished in it at the end of last year a little bit. I actually might be picking one of these up. Just really nice and light, but insulated as well. You've got the heat hog heaters, $69.99. I don't know. I'm not a big heat hog heater fan in comparison to some of the other options that are out there. You got augers, you got a ton of stuff. So check them out. I will link them down below if you're interested. I love this rod. I've got one of these. This is a killer deal right now by Shields. It's the 13 Fishing Archangel ice rod. It's an all one-piece rod. This is a very high-quality rod, and it comes in the ultralight here that you can see with the noodle tip. So your panfish primarily is what you're looking at. This is a 25-inch, normally $150. I think I paid that when I got mine a few years ago. On sale right now for $59.99. Like, that is a crazy deal. I might have to pick another one of them up. And this is from Shields. So this guy right here, through heat and pressure applied directly from the custom CNC mold, the carbon forging process merges the blank and the handle into one continuous single piece monocue body. I don't know how to say that word. Not sure. Have you ever seen this word before? I've never seen this word before. The sensitivity of the blank cannot be compared to any other rod. Vibrations previously gone undetected. So they're obviously talking up the rod here. I will say it is one of the most sensitive, not custom rods that I have. This thing is phenomenal. It is all one piece. There's no seams. It's pretty freaking fantastic. So if you're interested and want to pick it up, I will have it linked down below as soon as the stream's over. And then we've also got a deal on the Clam Sceptre Carbon Ice Spinning Rod. Normally $100 down to $40, $39.99 technically. And you got a bunch of different lengths here from 28, 30, 34, 32, 36. This is what it looks like. And it's got a little reel seat here, as you can see. And it's got the carbon fiber handle on the end of it. You've got your guides that you can see there. And it comes in either light, medium light, or ultra light action. The medium heavy are out of stock already. But this is a crazy good deal. I might have to pick one of these up. Maybe I'll pick up one of each just to have some extras in there. Pretty cool deals there. All right. Questions from viewers. So again, if you have questions that you want answered for sure on the show, I guess it's not guaranteed if we get a lot of questions, but you can go to alextim.com and there will be ask a question. You can fill that out. Otherwise, you can go and just type in, open up your email and type in question@fgtnshow.com and shoot it over via email, and it'll come to me as well. Or comment on any videos. Sometimes I'll catch them if they're in the comments, but for sure, if you submit the form or email me, I'll at least read it and it'll go through a filter process to make it to the show. So here's one of them. Can't get the propane hose link to work. There's been a lot of people that have been asking for this. I don't know. I believe that the link shortener service that I use went down a couple of times in the last week. So I think that's what happened. But I put the link here. It's at.fish/capital H and capital F here. I'll link it down below so you can click on it as well. But this is the link, and it brings you to this guy right here. So this is the heater hose that I recommend. It doesn't matter what brand heater. You have Clam, Heat Hog, Flame King, Buddy heater. I don't care if you got the portable Buddy, the big Buddy, the Buddy Flex. It doesn't matter. If it has a 1 pound propane hookup port, this hose will work. The exception being the single units that sit on the propane tank. You can't use it with the 20 pound propane tank. You got to use the 1 pounders. But for everything else, this is the hose you want to buy. And here's the reason why. It's actually a pretty dang good deal right now. $27.99, 29% off right now. This is also the only heater hose, the only one that does not need a fuel filter. This has a very special compound in the hose. Mr. Heater only makes one of these. It's in the 10-foot length. That's it. I don't know why they don't make a 5-foot hose, why they don't make one with a quick connect connection. This is the only one. It screws directly onto a tank, and it could be a 20-pound tank, an 11-pound, 10-pound, 5-pound, whatever you want to use, 100-pound. It doesn't really matter. And then it goes into your 1-pound propane tank hookup spot on your heater. You don't need a regulator because on all of the heaters that we use, that 1-pound propane tank hookup port is a regulated port. So it already has the regulator in there. You don't need a fuel filter because the composition of this rubber is intended for high pressure so that it won't break down and leach the oils that gum up the heater. This is what I will tell you. You need to buy, you need to click on this link to purchase it because there are other listings, even on Amazon, that have this number in it. But this is the only one that you're actually buying for sure the right product, because there are other companies out there, as you can imagine, that are like, oh yeah, we got the F273704. This is the model number. And then they'll have their own version of it, but they don't use the same hose, and it's misleading, and it will cause your heater to get gummed up. So this is the one, I think 8,000 bought in the past month speaks for itself. This thing is phenomenal. It even tells you right here, 10-foot long hose eliminates the need for a fuel filter, does not leach oil into the fuel stream, both ends tighten securely. They've got the measurements and everything here. So you can see it is from the Mr. Heater store, sold and shipped directly by Amazon. This is the one. I will link it down below. This is the only hose you need. It's the only hose that I use anymore. I don't even use the Quick Connect because the Quick Connects can get hard to use, especially in cold weather too. So there's the answer to your question. All right, next one that we have is from a viewer named Richard. He is asking about the Accuphy, spelt wrong here, but that's okay. I understand what you're saying. The live sonar system, however, their website shows it's sold out and they have not responded to my many requests for info. Do you have any knowledge on the cost of the live sonar transducer in the Wi-Fi module? Also, is it available anywhere in the US? So this is what Rich is talking about. Accuphy has the ping live sonar. So this is the unit I'm going to be testing this week out on the ice. They've done a huge firmware update on their beta. It's all beta testing right now. So it's not, to answer your question, it's not available for purchase yet. 2 reasons. 1, they're still refining it to make it as best as it can be. And 2, they're running into a patent issue, or so I heard, here in the US, which is not allowing them to actually sell it in the US. So I'm going to reach out to them this week and find out, number 1, to make sure that I can get my unit updated to the latest software. And then I'll have my all-in-one unit set up just on a pole. It doesn't require a screen, doesn't have a black box, and you can wirelessly transmit it to your phone, a tablet, or anything like that. So this is what you're talking about. There's no established price point, and you can't buy it in the US yet. It is still a beta unit, but there's some pretty cool things here on their website. It is from Beijing. So who knows what the price of this is going to look like, if they can even sell it here, if there are, going to be any additional fees of products being sold from China back into the US. No clue what that's going to look like, but I do have one of these that we're going to at least be able to test out and try out once I get the updated firmware on it, hopefully this week. So look for that. And that is the answer to your question. And we got another question here saying this guy is looking for an FFS, a forward-facing sonar setup. His biggest hang-up is the screen. What screen do you like best? His cousin has the Garmin 126 SV, and he likes it, but he feels like it might be too big. The 106 is about the same size as the HD Innovation Shuttle he plans to get. Should I say he's going to be using it for ice fishing and running a portable and Otter Lodge? So this is a very common question that I get. What screen should I get? To answer your question specifically, the 126 for ice fishing is very big. I would not recommend getting it. The 106 is going to be the same quality. It's going to be the same speed. You're not downgrading anything from the 126 other than going to a 10-inch size. So if you like the 126, but you just want one a little bit better size, go with the 106. You're going to be much happier because it's going to weigh less as well. The 93 SV is definitely a step down, but it's still a great unit. It's the most popular unit that people use, but it is a 9-inch screen. There is a big difference between a 9 and a 10-inch screen. If you can afford the 106 SV and you're open to it, go that route. If you want the best of the best, but it is more power hungry, and it weighs a little bit more, but it has better screen resolution, better hookups, HDMI out if you're going to be using it hooked up to anything. The 8610, GPS map 8610 is a great 10-inch screen as well. So that's what I recommend. If you're looking to be portable, though, and somewhat looking at budget, the 93 SV or the 106 SV are going to be great options. Probably the two most popular units that are sold. So that is what we got. We got Ray saying message 351 will be the one saying that you plan to sever your trapped arm if you don't get any help soon. Say no to the 350 maximum satellite message plan. Not sure what we're talking about there, Ray, but it sounds scary. So be careful. We don't want anybody's arms getting chopped off. Where's the best deals on the Mega Live 1? I think everybody right now has the Mega Live 1 on sale for $1,000. I haven't seen it lower than that right now. Unless you're buying it in a bundle deal with one of their like 9-inch screens. I think they got like some ice fishing bundles with the Mega Live 1 as a pretty good deal right now. $600 for the setup. They have to pay me to wear Coors. There you go. Yep. $600. Is that what you're willing to wear it for if they pay you and give it to you? Yeah. I know you're probably saying that's what the retail price is, but Spuddlebutt saying you're supposed to get rid of your unused gear and not hoard it in the basement. Yeah. Well, when you're so busy, right? You stack up gear, right? And maybe it'd be fun to do at the beginning of the ice season. So you can be like, okay, what's all the stuff that I used last year I didn't like, I didn't use last year, or I found I don't need, like in the fall, go and sell it all or trade it with people for gear that you want. And then anything that you sell, save up a little bit of your money, and then you can go and use it at ice shows, online sale deals for the holidays, buy that thing that you've been saving up for, right? I mean, there's lots of different ways to look at it, but I like that one. Yeah. Well, thank you all so much for watching the show tonight. Hopefully it helped you out. Hopefully you found some information, some deals, some gear, some excitement, some sort of value out of this. I always love and appreciate anybody that comments down below the video. What did you like? What was the value that you got out of it? A lot of work goes into doing these shows, but I absolutely love it. And I love chatting with all of you. So thanks for watching. Tight lines this week, and we will be going live on the ice this next week again, actually in tournament mode the end of this week. So take it easy, tight lines, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.